about Dillashaw testing positive for something. It turns out it was EPO. So what EPO is it is a hormone that's actually already created in your kidneys naturally. But what fighters will do is they'll inject themselves with EPO, and what it does is it increases your body's production of red blood cells, so it makes your blood thicker. Well, what does that do for you in athletic competition? Man, it gives you endurance. It allows you to transport more oxygen, which is in your red blood cells, to all your muscles, to your lungs, so you can actually keep a pace that you wouldn't ordinarily be able to maintain under normal levels. Now, I had mentioned that this was quite interesting, that TJ was so willing to give up his belt. When it first broke that he tested positive for a banned substance, TJ immediately just relinquished his belt and said, I don't want to hold the division up, which was a red flag to me immediately. That told me that he knew something was up. Even more interesting about that fact is that they tested his urine for the 2 Cody fights, and he tested positive for EPO in both of those motherfucking fights. So TJ Dillashaw absolutely destroyed his legacy in one test, man. And it's really, really sad, because obviously the EPO is going to help him in competition, but the EPO is not making you the fighter that you are. It doesn't define your style. It doesn't define what you do. Now, to be fair, TJ has a very high pace, very, very energetic style of fighting. So obviously EPO is going to assist him maintain that fighting style for a longer period of time, but it is still his own style. It's interesting because Cody Garbrandt had been setting tweets, and he had said in a press conference specifically that when TJ was with Team Alpha Male, he was showing and teaching and telling other fighters about how to essentially get away with using EPO. Now, I'd mentioned it in the last podcast also, that TJ is so hyper competitive that a guy like him with his mindset is willing to do whatever it takes to get to that next level. And for him, it was EPO. And frankly, with his mindset, with his drive, with his competitive nature, it's possible that he's on a bunch of other stuff too, that he's just been able to get away with or avoid testing or whatever the case may be. Or maybe he's, supplements are always just ahead of the testing usually. Now, Nowitzki and USADA are getting really close to making that gap is very, very narrow now. But man, what a fall, man. What a fall. It's funny, too, because, everybody is like, they're photoshopping TJ Dillashaw on giant, like, bodybuilder style characters, right? Like, they'll put his face on, like, Phil Heath's body or something like that, which is funny. But EPO is not an anabolic steroid, right? EPO is a completely different hormone than testosterone. So EPO is not designed to build your muscle up and make you a huge, giant bodybuilder. It's, like I said, it's designed to increase your red blood cells, so it helps with endurance. That doesn't mean that TJ is not on some kind of anabolic. I mean, at this point, speculation is speculation. There is a potential that he's on something else. One thing that I didn't really care for was that Dillashaw set out, like he put out a video and he was apologizing for his behavior, said he messed up, yada, yada, yada. For me personally, the last thing that I want is a goddamn apology. I fucking hate apologies in general, because if you were sorry, you wouldn't have done it in the first place. Like, no one's ever really sorry they did something. They're sorry that they got caught, because if TJ continued his career and just kept fighting and nobody ever found out about it and all this other horse shit, he's not going to apologize. He's not going to feel sorry. He's not sorry at all. He's the fucking champion. He's making money. He's got sponsorship deals. He's got his fucking all this other business ventures. He's not sorry in the least bit. And guess what? He's not going to continue to be sorry, because whether you like it or not, the fact that whether the EPO won him championships or not, I think that's debatable, right? Because he's still the fighter he is. He won himself those championships, but that EPO certainly fucking helped him. But what it also did for him is it gave him financial security, right? So now he's got houses and he's got other business ventures that are making him money supplementally. So he, even if this ruins his fighting career forever, the fact that he was once a champion and gained the financial ventures enough to actually make money outside of fighting, for him, it still might be worth the risk to take those banned supplements because he's achieved things outside of fighting that will be able to stabilize his life and his wife and his family. Now, again, that's all me just talking out my ass. I don't really know what his thought processes were, but I don't think he's sorry. That's my whole point. He's not fucking sorry. I would have much rathered him sit down, because like he kind of like in the video that he provided on, I think it was on Instagram, is he's like, he just got out of shoulder surgery, so he looks all swollen up, and he looks kind of beat up, and he's sitting in this chair, and he's in his arms in a sling, and it's almost as if he's trying to get the sympathy. Oh, well, you know, my shoulder's fucked up, I gotta get the other one done, I'm so sorry for doing this, I shouldn't have done it. But to me, it just seems, you know, like, come on, dude. I would have had so much more respect for that video if he just sat down and said, hey man, listen, this is why I chose to take a risk and take the banned substance. I knew what I was doing when I injected that shit in my ass cheek. I knew what I was doing, and I didn't give a fuck because of whatever. My competitive drive, my willingness to win, my fucking my want, my desire to achieve things outside of fighting. This was something that was going to help. I mean, who the fuck knows? But I would have had way more respect if you said, hey man, this is what I did, and that's it. I'm not sorry about it. It's unfortunate that I decided to take EPO or take a banned substance, but I'm not sorry I did it, because I don't believe he is. I don't believe any fighter is really sorry that they took a supplement that's banned. You know, all these guys in this arena, in this industry, are just looking for an edge, man. They're looking for anything that's going to help them. And some guys take the more honest route, and some guys take the less honest route. This is a less honest route. It is a banned substance, it's against the rules, and you shouldn't have done it in the first place. Now, there's a whole bunch of arguments that would argue what should and shouldn't be allowed, because fighters and athletes, they're allowed to do a lot of shit that's questionable. It's just a matter of what's the most questionable, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if they're going to overturn the Cody Garbrandt fights. Cody went off on Twitter talking about all his losses are from fucking cheaters and all this, yada, yada. It was actually kind of funny because I was thinking, like, damn, dude, you got knocked out. Like, it wasn't just the fact that your opponents were on some kind of bad supplement. I mean, you got fucking knocked out. And then it was funny because Cody Garbrandt then tweets out a tweet that goes, also, I fought like a dumbass, which is actually pretty honest and pretty funny. Kind of, for me, it was like, oh, okay. Cody Garbrandt gets it, man. He gets it. And it was. I don't know if someone was reading his tweets and then guided him to retweet something like that, or if he recognized it and said, "Hey, man, I need to let them know that I understand that the way I chose to fight in those particular fights was dumb as fuck." And then I guess with the TJ fight's a little less dumb fuck than the last one with Pedro, where he just decided to have a slugfest and got knocked out. So interesting developments with TJ. He's not eligible to fight until January of 2021. Let's talk about the implications of that. That's 2 years of non-competition. And it's arguable that TJ Dillashaw is in his prime right now. He's a motherfucking prime fighter right now. And he just lost 2 years of his best years. 2 years of his premier physical physique. Like he's at the top of that motherfucking mountain. He's not going to be able to fight for 2 years. He's never going to be the same guy. Ever. He's never going to be the same guy. It's very interesting. It's that sad. That's the saddest thing. And then you got to think about all the people that help TJ. You have Sam Calavita, who's a strength and conditioning and nutrition coach. You got Dwayne Bang Ludwig, who is his head coach. He's the one that changed and manipulated TJ's career. And there's more speculation that maybe Dwayne is the one that led him to this path for EPO in the first place, right? He's the one that formulated his new style and his new way of fighting. TJ, if you look at Team Alpha Male TJ and Dwayne Bang Ludwig TJ, there are some pretty deep contrasts in the way his physique looks, the way his fighting style is, everything. And now, obviously, there's a physical transformation because of TJ just getting older, stronger, bigger, faster, training harder. But it is a pretty steep contrast to where you might put some skeptical eyes on what's going on. I mean, especially now that you see that he's been using that banned substance for a while. So TJ's legacy is fucked forever, man. He's never gonna get it back. It's really unfortunate, but man, that's how it goes sometimes with these guys. And if you notice, like these top guys in mixed martial arts, they are going down. They always seem to get caught up on something. So who knows what the fuck's gonna happen now, and who knows what kind of fighter TJ will be when he gets back. But or even if his coaching, like maybe Dwayne didn't know, maybe Sam didn't know. I find it suspiciously convenient for them to not know anything, though. I mean, you're so close with that guy. Dwayne and TJ are like fucking brothers, or father and son, or big brother, little brother. I mean, it's just, to me, it seems it's very unlikely that Dwayne didn't know something was going on or didn't assist him. And also, you got to remember that this is an injectable substance, which means that there's no chance, zero possibility of this being a tainted supplement situation, like we have seen in the past. That's been proven that it is a supplement situation. This is a injectable, which means that there is no possibility that TJ could have not known what was going on in his body. He knew exactly what he was doing. And again, this just comes back to his mentality, man. He's so fucking competitive, and when you're the type of person that cannot lose, you cannot fucking lose. You have to win. You start getting in your own head, and you start thinking, well, I'll just do this. I have to do this. I can't lose. And so it's almost like your mentality gets ahead of yourself, and now you're paying the most severe of consequences. So going forward, man, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Bantamweight division's changed forever, and we'll probably never see TJ in that kind of position. I would be completely shocked if somehow TJ climbs his way back up that mountain and becomes champion of the bantamweight division again. I would be absolutely shocked. And then think about the fights we're never going to see now. So, man, crazy stuff, disappointing stuff. It's definitely a black eye in mixed martial arts because these things keep continually happening. And a lot of that is because USADA, right? Because if you look at the other big three sports, whether it's football, basketball, or hockey, or fucking baseball, or whatever it is, these are all self-policed organizations, which means that they get to choose when they don't and do report things. They get to control. NFL controls the time and dates of all testing. In mixed martial arts, dude, it might be 4 a.m. and some fucking pencil neck dude knocks on your door and asks for a piss sample. I mean, this is why we're catching all these guys. So it's not, these kind of test results are not isolated to mixed martial arts. They are isolated to the fact that USADA's testing procedures are fucking legit in terms of catching people. And that's really what it comes down to. If they had like a USADA-esque style testing pool for like the NFL or the NBA or the MLB or whatever, you would be seeing similar things. Similar things, I think. So, it's a bummer, man.